Today's video explores the concepts of the present value and future value of capital. The siblings Lisa and Tom have won a contest where the winner can choose between two options for receiving their prize money. In option A, the siblings would receive the prize money of $15,000 immediately. In option B, Lisa and Tom would receive the money after 3 years, but the amount would increase to $18,000. Since the siblings plan to save the money and not spend it within the next 3 years, Tom immediately suggests choosing option B and collecting the $18,000 after 3 years. The money grows by $1,000 per year, so there's not much risk in choosing this option, Tom tries to convince Lisa. Wait a second, to figure out which offer is better for us today, we need to compare the winnings using the present value and future value, Lisa counters. The siblings know that they can get an interest rate of 9% from the bank. First, they calculate the future value of the prize money. The formula for calculating the future value is capital at the end of the investment period, CT equals starting capital, C null times 1 plus I, where I is the interest rate the money is invested at, raised to the power of T, the number of years the money is invested for. The siblings plan to invest the money for 3 years. To better understand how the money grows over time, they calculate the interest growth from T null, today, to T1, 1 year later. According to the future value formula, they calculate capital after 1 year, C1, equals starting capital, C null times 1 plus I, where I is the interest rate, raised to the power of 1. When substituting the values into the formula, they calculate $15,000 times 1 plus 0.09, where 0.09 is the interest rate, raised to the power of 1. This determines the capital amount after 1 year. After 1 year, the capital would already grow to $16,350. To see how much the capital grows after 2 years, they calculate $15,000 times 1 plus 0.09, where 0.09 is the interest rate, raised to the power of 2. This results in a capital amount of $17,821. However, for this example, the relevant investment period is 3 years. Thus, they calculate $15,000 times 1 plus 0.09, where 0.09 is the interest rate, raised to the power of 3. This gives a future value of $19,425 at the end of the 3rd year. Therefore, with option A, immediate payout, the future value of the prize money can be calculated as $19,425. Next, the siblings want to determine the present value, PV, which is the current value of the money in option B. According to option B, Lisa and Tom would receive $18,000, but only at the end of the 3rd year. Using the present value formula, they aim to determine the value of the prize money today so that its future value would amount to $18,000 after 3 years. Now they must calculate in reverse. Starting from T3, 3 years later, they discount the capital back to today's value. This is the opposite of calculating the future value, where the capital is compounded forward. The formula for calculating the present value is capital today, C null, equals capital at the end of the investment period, CT times 1 plus I, where I is the interest rate the money is invested at, raised to the power of T, the number of years in reverse. Alternatively, the formula can also be written as capital today, C null, equals capital at the end of the investment period, CT divided by 1 plus I, where I is the interest rate, raised to the power of T. Step by step, the siblings discount the amounts until they arrive at the present value today. To discount the $18,000 from year T3 to year T2, they calculate capital after 2 years, C2, equals capital at the end of the investment period, C3 times 1 plus I, where I is the interest rate, raised to the power of minus 1. Substituting the values into the formula, they calculate $18,000 times 1 plus 0.09, where 0.09 is the interest rate, raised to the power of minus 1. This results in a value of $16,513. After discounting the money by 1 year, the amount is $16,513. To determine the value after discounting for 2 years, they adjust the exponent to minus 2 and calculate $18,000 times 1 plus 0.09, where 0.09 is the interest rate, raised to the power of minus 2. After 2 years of discounting, the value would decrease to $15,150. For this example, however, the siblings are interested in the discounting over 3 years, as the money in option B would only be paid out after 3 years. Thus, they calculate $18,000 times 1 plus 0.09, where 0.09 is the interest rate, raised to the power of minus 3. This gives a present value of $13,899. The current value, or present value, of the prize money in option B is therefore only $13,899. The siblings quickly agree that the $15,000 from option A is a much better choice than option B, where the current value of the prize money is $13,899. Lisa and Tom decide to go with option A and invest the money for 3 years to achieve a future value of $19,425 instead of waiting 3 years to receive only $18,000. Using the concepts of present value and future value, one can determine the current value of future capital as well as the future value of current capital. We hope this video has helped you understand the topic of present value and future value of capital. See you next time and have a good one.